Alright, what's up guys? I hope y'all are having a great day today, just full of so much positivity and happiness, dude. You know, sorry if I sound tired. I'm going on 43 hours without sleep at this point, so yeah, I'm not really feeling great, and on top of that, I sat through probably the worst gaming showcase I think I've seen in my entire life, and that, of course, is Summer Games Fest 2024. And if you need a poster child for why the state of the modern video game industry is in an absolute nosedive, Summer Games Fest 2024 is the perfect demonstration of that. Game developers, indie to AAA, especially on the Western side of things, are completely creatively bankrupt at this point. There is no original ideas. Everything is either a rehash, a reskin, or just combining a bunch of already used ideas in the worst possible ways imaginable. Like, I genuinely can't think of anything from this showcase that was even remotely warranting for it to even happen in the first place. There was nothing here that was announced that I gave a single fuck about. And even the games that I do kind of care about on some level, they didn't show anything new that warranted me watching this. I mean, this was 2 hours of pure torture, essentially. And, you know, maybe it's in my sleep-deprived state right now, but bro, I mean, I have zero faith in the modern AAA, indie, or whatever iteration of the Western video game market you want to point to at this point, because if this is the best they got, we're fucked, man. Like, I don't know. This was a disaster. You can tell Geoff Keighley was only there to collect his bag. He barely brought any special guests out, which personally I think is a good thing. I don't really enjoy listening to developers go on and on and on about how much they want you to buy their game constantly. So you could just tell, though, this event felt really half-assed. The audience wasn't even into it. The clapping and applause and cheers was not there. And sometimes you would even hear audible boos. You know, Geoff was hyping up a bunch of indie tier slop that no one in their right mind would ever be excited for. The only thing he was excited for is they paid $450,000 to have one of their trailers placed within the show. But from start to finish, it was basically all just back-to-back trailers, and none of them were good. Like, I honestly cannot think of one thing I can point to in this and be like, yeah, you know, this was a one redeeming moment of the showcase. Like, I really can't. There was nothing here. It was an absolute waste of time, and I didn't even really want to make this video because I don't really have much to say outside of the current state of the modern gaming industry looks absolutely grim. I mean, we could talk about that Lego Horizon game, which, you know, that will be the Horizon game that has the most gameplay in the series, unironically, which is kind of funny. You know, I thought that was kind of interesting that it's going to the Switch as well. My guess is Sony licensed that game out to, like, whatever studio makes the Lego games, TT Games, I think. So they probably wanted to put it on the Switch. I don't think that's going to be a recurring theme with most Sony games going forward because Sony's not really developing this game in-house. But, you know, I guess that's kind of cool that Lego Horizon's going to the Switch because, you know, the Switch is the most popular console in Japan and probably Sony wants some of that money. I can't really blame them. I do think it's funny it's not going to Xbox, though, especially considering the fact that Xbox is basically becoming a third-party publisher for PlayStation and putting a bunch of games on Sony's platform, but Sony is not returning the favor in the slightest, and they are favoring, you know, the Switch over Xbox. So I thought that was kind of interesting that, you know, Sony's moving in that direction of exploring releasing things on Nintendo's platform. But yeah, I mean, that looks fine, I guess. I don't really have an interest in Horizon on any deep level, so I highly doubt I'll be picking that up. I'm trying to think of, like, big things they showed off. There wasn't really anything. They had that Phantom Blade Zero game that they showed off at the PlayStation showcase. They had a little bit of gameplay for that. It looks fast-paced, which is good, but again, not enough, just like at the PlayStation showcase, to form any sort of real opinion, in my opinion, yet. So, I don't know, like, it's just, this entire thing felt really worthless. I walked away basically not giving a fuck about anything that I didn't already know about. And what I did already know about, I felt disappointed that we didn't get to see anything new. Like, Space Marine 2 was there, but they just used a bunch of rehashed footage and like a 30-second trailer. Monster Hunter Wilds was there, but they just showed more footage of people riding around in the desert open world area on their mounts, you know, fighting big monsters similar to what we just saw at the PlayStation showcase. So again, nothing new. It's just rehashed shit. And the reason why I think that is the case is because, you know, Geoff needed an excuse to once again charge money for these advertisement placements. Now, maybe all the big game announcements are being saved for the Xbox showcase on Sunday. day, but I just highly doubt it, man. I just think the Western video game industry is in a really shit place right now, and they don't know what the fuck they're doing. I think Nintendo's holding out because, you know, they have the Switch 2 coming up, so they're not going to be announcing anything major right now. Sony's already kind of blown their wad at this point in the generation, and a lot of their movie games take so long to develop. We're probably not going to be getting a lot from a lot of these studios. I think Sucker Punch is really the only one that might have something somewhat close to launch. Same with Naughty Dog, maybe in between all of their re-releases of The Last of Us, but, you know, we do have games like Concord, which is absolutely horrible. That game is just fucking terrible. The more and more I think about it, the more I hate it, but I am genuinely interested in Astrobot. I think Astrobot is the most interesting game that PlayStation has announced in like the past 6 years, so personally I am looking forward to that. That will be a day one pickup for me, but, you know, Sony was incredibly absent here aside from Lego Horizon, which they didn't even really develop themselves. The Lego game studio did that. They probably just licensed the IP out to them, and then they're acting as the publisher because of that. And yeah, that was really all for Sony. Nintendo wasn't there whatsoever. Xbox wasn't there whatsoever. Like, this did not need to exist, man. This is like one of the biggest joke showcases I think I've seen in my entire life. I really don't know what else to say at this point. Like, bro, I wasn't even gonna make a video on this shit because it just left me so just disappointed. I mean, I went in with zero expectations because Geoff Keighley showcases are usually fucking horrific, man. Like, the Game Awards is always a chore to sit through. It's just a woke circle jerk of, you know, industry experts and insiders, you know, collectively jerking each other off about how wonderful each other are. So typically those are pretty bad. So I know going in that this is not going to be anything that great, but holy fuck, man, I really underestimated just how bad this could actually be. But yeah, I really can't think of anything else. I mean, I guess that game from the Persona developer, Metaphor or whatever it's called, I mean, that looked okay. I think it's nice that they're basically making Persona without all the stupid school shit, so maybe I'll try that out at some point. The Sonic game with Shadow I thought looked kind of interesting. You know, as an edgy boy myself who grew up playing Shadow the Hedgehog on my PlayStation 2, you know, that kind of has a little bit of appeal, so maybe I'll check that out. But, you know, these were all things we knew about going into it. It's nothing new. We didn't really get any sort of great insight into what these games are. It's just, it felt so unnecessary on so many different levels. I mean, if I had to give this a rating out of 10, this is a straight up 1, bro. I mean, 90% of this was pure slop and filler titles that, you know, just nobody's gonna buy. Like, half of these games are just complete and utter dog shit that no one in their right fucking mind is ever going to actually engage with on any significant level. They will sell tens of copies, and they wasted their entire marketing budget being placed in Geoff Keighley's Summer Game Fest showcase. So going into Sunday, I don't really think Xbox has a very high bar. The PlayStation showcase overall was very disappointing, and Summer Games Fest was just a complete and total abomination. So really, Sunday is Xbox's time to shine. If they have a halfway decent show, just by comparison, it's going to be so much fucking better than the other shit that we've been subjected to recently. So who knows, man? Maybe Xbox can pull a rabbit out of the hat and actually have a good showcase and, you know, announce some stuff that people are interested in. Like, if they have a Marcus Phoenix collection, if they have the new Doom game, and maybe just something new that looks halfway good, I think it's an easy W for Xbox this year. So again, it is 100% Microsoft's game to win or lose at this point. The ball is in their court, and they do not have a very high quality standard to surpass. So, you know, fingers crossed they can actually deliver and we get some good news on Sunday, and maybe a lot of third-party stuff shows up at the Xbox showcase, but we will have to wait and see, man. But, you know, let me know your thoughts on this Summer Games Fest showcase in the comment section below. I have a feeling where everybody's probably going to land on this particular topic, but as always, I am very interested to hear your thoughts on it. You know, I wasn't going to originally make this video because, again, I'm going on like 43 hours without sleeping. That showcase absolutely drained the remaining energy I had left, and my will to live is basically non-existent as a gamer right now. But I figured I might as well cash in and put out a typical, you know, showcase low effort review video and, you know, just go over my general thoughts about this absolute travesty of an event. So yeah, my thoughts are this was the most unnecessary shit that has ever occurred in the history of gaming showcases, and by far probably the worst I think I've ever seen, eclipsing even the worst of Ubisoft's E3 conferences back in the day. But yeah, anyway guys, let me know what you think. Appreciate y'all checking out this very low effort video. Make sure to hit the like button if you did enjoy, or if you agree with my sentiments surrounding this thing. But yeah, anyway guys, hope you all have a great day, or I guess night at this point. Appreciate everybody taking the time out of your day to check out this video, and I will catch you guys next time.
My heart